Payday. Not only is it the one day of the month that all of our slavery and our day-to-day jobs actually mean something, it's also a video game franchise developed by the same company that somehow managed to combine tentacles and gore. It's a dream come true for some people, I can assure you. Starting all the way back in 2007 with a game that you haven't played, to one of the most popular games that has been sitting in my Steam untouched since 2018, to what we have today, Payday 3, releasing on the 21st of this month. So why am I bringing you this video today? Well, I'm glad you asked. Money. As I'm writing the script, I opened up my emails like a good little taxpayer and got invited to the beta of the game. I haven't really played any of these games up until this point, so I figured why not? I could always use something to boost my follower numbers. So this video here is gonna serve as my overall thoughts and the journey as to what I experienced during this beta. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Firstly, I had to make an account. I don't have any corresponding footage of this, but the video in the background was pretty much my immediate reaction before even filling in any of my credentials. Secondly, I was stuck in the loading screen for a good 10 minutes. It's a good thing I'm not the average YouTube Shorts enjoyer, so I was able to press on until I finally loaded into the menu. I dick around in the loadout menu a bit, see that the game has microtransactions with in-game currency, and got disappointed I wasn't able to flex my greed. And after all of that, I decided to load into the only map that was available for the beta, and if you've played Borderlands, you suck. We wait for another 10 minutes, get told to fuck off, try again, and alas, we finally load into a lobby with people who will be our brothers in arms in-game, but in reality will be people we'll forget about after this game is done. So cherish the moment you have with these people, because it's gonna be short-lived. So after all of that, we finally load in, realize that someone used a green filter on the lens, and that's causing our frame rate to tank. Yes, since this is indeed a beta, and the game will let you know about that at all times, there's bound to be a lot of issues, mainly the game's frame rate, which isn't a consistent 60, so obviously being a PC gamer, that's enough for me to write this game off entirely. But at the very least, it's something that did smooth out the more I kept playing, so treat this game like you would Fortnite. It'll only start working after you give it enough attention. But aside from probably like the only technical issue I think I could find in the game, let's talk about the actual game. It's a stealth game. It's a game where the main focus is to get as much money as possible. There's about 3 stages, I'd like to say. The stakeout, so you can get a good idea of the layout of the place you're gonna rob. I guess the engagement phase, where you put on your masks and start throwing people around like ragdolls. And what I guess I like to call the escape phase, where you grab as much cash as possible and exfil like you're playing Tarkov. And at the end of each heist, you get pretty numbers that say you're a gamer and how much cash you got. All in all, I'd say I had a pretty good first game, even though my competence as a teammate is comparable to a caveman with future shock. So I was prepared to actually give it a few more goes. And then silence. A moment of reflection for our fallen brothers. Meaning that in my case, it was beginning to seem that the servers were starting to work as well as Resident Evil RE versus. But seeing that this was a new game and the beta had just released, I wasn't ready to give up. And then it hit me. Discord. Putting my social anxiety to the side for just 1 second for the sake of actually getting a video out, I joined the official Discord server, and let's say I didn't think my chances were very high. But alas, say hello to my posse. These guys, consisting of people who like to A-pose and Rayman, people whom I've never met before but are now my best friends after all the shit we pulled off together. You know, after restarting our game for the 10th time because the lobby UI is as competent as my performance in a corporate environment. But after all of that out of the way, let me talk about the game a little bit. Firstly, the graphics. I'm not allowed to talk about the graphics, but judging from what I saw based on the gameplay footage from other people and the game trailer itself, I don't exactly feel like I'm missing out. I just don't understand this greenish tint over everything. I feel like the city's experiencing smog after a hotbox incident. But even so, I don't quite understand why the game chugs as much as it does. And on top of that, why it's starting to feel like my PC's about to depart on a lunar mission. Other than all of the visual stuff, I thought that the gameplay was all well and good. You have different abilities, I guess you can call them like throwing down ammo crates or the equivalents for health and armor. You have a cell phone to scroll through TikToks as well as to peep under the stalls. You have grenades. And in this game, it seems like you have stuff called overkill weapons. Like in this case, we have a grenade launcher, but I wasn't able to get this, so take a look at this guy's footage instead. He's better at the game than I am. But since this is just a beta with only 1 map and a limited amount of content, there isn't really all that much I can say because the game isn't really officially out yet. But overall, what did I think about this beta? I had a lot of fun with it, actually. You know, besides the obvious hiccups. Since this was my first proper foray into the world of Payday, I'll have to admit I was pleasantly surprised with how much I was enjoying it. And reason for that would be, I did play a little bit of Payday 2 on the PS4 not too long ago. I can practically hear my Steam copy weeping, and I thought at that time it was a little bit mediocre because I was playing it alone. But after getting a group of people together, shooting the shit and just having fun, yeah, no, I really enjoyed this game. And I do know that there's a lot I've glossed over in this video, but there's not really all that much I can go into as of right now since this is just a beta and there's not that much content available. The only other stuff I can really bring up is the fact that you can trade hostages for goodies like health kits and stuff, which, judging by how many cops we've killed, I'm surprised they just haven't counted their casualties and moved on. You can use hostages as shields and shit, and yeah, multiple different ways that you can approach your objective, whether you plan everything out meticulously or do it the right way. All these mechanics here could make for a fun and replayable experience, especially if you got the right set of people. So overall, I'm rather excited to squad up with a few of my buddies and bankrupt the economy. The game will be releasing on the 21st of September on PC, Xbox Series S and X, and the PS5. And for all you cheapskates out there, it'll be on Game Pass day one, so you can at least give the game a try without breaking the bank. So with all of that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching the video. I do know that this is a little bit shorter than my usual videos, but it's okay. I get to bank on hype for once, and you get to laugh at a funny haha video, so it's a win-win. Either way, I've been John from the channel with the freakishly long name. Follow my socials, like the video or dislike the video, join the Discord, and I will see you guys in the next video.